extended to the citizens of Magnolia for passing a small tax which is going toward the rebuilding of our city. Because of you, we are able to address various maintenance issues that have plagued the city for many years. The city of Magnolia ended 2012 with $456,322.07 in the general fund account. In 2013, it's predicted that the general fund revenue will be $3.9 million. The 2012 project at the Magnolia Airport has been completed. Takeoffs and landings totaled 2,219 for the year. Total sales of fuel were $136,506 for a net profit of over $22,000. Magnolia's first corporate jet arrived the last week of October 2012. A new hangar 65 by 70 for the corporate jet was completed in late October at a cost of $193,000, with 80% of the cost being funded by the State Aeronautical Department and the city's 20% portion of the cost being funded as prepaid rent by the tenant. This resulted in the corporate jet now being based in Magnolia, which should help in competing for funds from the FAA. An increase in jet fuel sales, which will increase airport profitability, and future rent from the hangar paid to the airport after the prepaid rent have been amortized. The terminal building was repainted on the inside and freshened up by community service personnel. In late spring, volunteers from the Magnolia Master Gardeners weeded and planted new flowers and plants in the flower beds around the terminal building. In January, the old tug was determined to be non-economical, and the search for a new tug began. After considering new tractors to be used as tugs costing $12,000 to $14,000, a used replacement tug was found at State Surplus Equipment Depot for $1,000. It currently serves us well. In June, AvFuel Corporation was selected as the new fuel supplier for the airport FBO, with the purpose being to get better wholesale pricing for our fuel and better service and support from our community representatives. In late April, the airport beacon light became unusable due to aging in the rotary gears failing in the drive motor. A week later, the whole system of the airport lighting was knocked out by a catastrophic lightning strike. All but 5 of the runway light bulbs were replaced, but the system was still inoperable. The runway lights were restored on a limited basis in late June by the use of a loaner regulator while repairs of the airport's equipment were being evaluated. In September, it was determined that the airport's equipment was not repairable. An emergency grant application was filed with the State Aeronautical Department requesting a 90% grant of up to $30,000 to replace the airport's lighting. To pay for the cost of replacing all the bulbs blown out in the initial lightning strike and to repair the airport beacon. The grant was obtained in late November, and the system was restored to full usefulness on January 23rd of 2013. At the end of 2012, contractors were 85% complete, currently 97% complete as of February 11th on construction of a new parking ramp and tie-down system for the transit aircraft. Problems with the weather have hampered completion, and it's hoped that completion can now be accomplished by the first quarter of 2013. The construction project cost $638,000 and is being funded 100% by the FAA and State Aeronautical Department. And that project is complete as of today. Excuse me. Our animal control officer is David Cushman. Officer Cushman answered 1,375 calls for service in 2012. He impounded 219 canines. 19 of those were abandoned or dumped animals. There were 14 canines adopted and 186 were euthanized. I would ask that when you're looking for a family pet, I urge you to please come by our shelter and adopt one. Columbia County Senior Meal Service is an independent nonprofit organization that has been functioning since July 1 of 2011. It's designed to meet the needs of the elderly and handicapped individuals in Columbia County. It includes 2 workers who are 60 and over and qualify for Senior Workers Program. The Senior Workers Program pays 12 hours of the staff hours, and the center contracts the other hours. A total of 48 hours per week are worked by those 2 staff members. The 3rd employee is paid through the center's budget and works 30 hours per week. Full-time director is paid through the center's budget and works 40 hours a week. Columbia County Senior Meal Service provides services to eligible clients aged 60 and over, to the spouses of those clients, and to the handicapped dependent offsprings of those clients. Preference is given to older adults who have the greatest social and economic need. Benefits of the center include transportation to and from the center, hot meals, and socialization with peers. The Magnolia Nutrition Center is located in the old J.C. building at 235 South Frederick. It serves Magnolia, Waldo, McNeil, Taylor, Freehope Community, and Emerson. Since moving into the community center on South Frederick, the center has grown from 10 people to 40 that are eating a hot lunch every day. Without this building, we could not accommodate this many seniors. It's open Monday through Friday with the exception of holidays from 8 a.m. to 4:30. Meals are served at 11:30 a.m. The center contracts with Abilities Unlimited of Magnolia to provide approximately 35 meals per day at a rate of $2.60 per meal. Meals are delivered in bulk to the Magnolia Nutrition Center. Abilities Unlimited complies with USDA lunch requirements and with approved substitutions by a dietitian. Tonight, the resolution we passed will allow them to cook their own meals on site and have a bigger variety. Columbia County Senior Meal Service owns 3 vehicles which were gifted by the Area Agency on Aging Southwest Arkansas in July of 11. They provide transportation to and from the center, shopping trips requested by the participants, and doctor's appointments. The vans deliver meals to homebound clients. In 2013, we expect to see an increase of overall services provided by the center, an average of 20%. In addition to meals, participants have the opportunity to be with friends, other members of this community. They enjoy playing bingo, cards, dominoes. Special programs of interest are offered on a regular basis, such as music, devotionals, nutrition education, blood pressure reading, blood sugar check, severe weather information. An exercise program is also offered 2 days a week. I think it goes without saying that this program is definitely an asset to Magnolia at no cost to the city. We're expecting 2013 to be a prosperous year for our public safety officers. The city should receive a new fire truck, which will enable our firefighters to be more sufficient when responding to a fire. 3 patrol units have been delivered to the police department. These units will keep our streets safer. Both purchases will cut the repair expense of the older model trucks and cars. The Insurance Rating Office, ISO, will tour and review the city. As soon as we hear back in regards to our rating, we will call a police committee meeting and start discussion as to the direction we must go with a police fire substation. If a substation is not required, we have to take action on the fact that we have outgrown our current location and conditions of the police department, which I reported to you in the 2010 State of the City report. Personnel of the Magnolia Fire Department consists of Chief Greg Penner, 12 regular paid firefighters, 9 volunteers. The entire personnel had approximately 2,000 hours training in 2012. There were 24 drills and training sessions in 2012 with an average of 18 firefighters attending each session. In 2012, the Magnolia Fire Department responded to 118 alarms. There were an average of 14 firefighters responding to each alarm. Estimated building content loss in 2012 was $422,995. That was down from 2011. Estimated value of property involved, $16,516,000, half of 2011. In 2012, the Magnolia Fire Department gave fire and safety inspections to 61 buildings. Last year, the fire department protected $1.9 million in property and 13,500 people. Insurance saved to the people of Magnolia and the Magnolia Fire District as a result of a Class 5 fire protection rating exceeds $4.1 million. The Magnolia Police Department is led by Chief Glenn Maxwell and currently has 12 patrol officers. 3 hold the rank of sergeant, 1 patrol officer serves as school resource officer, 3 detectives, 1 lieutenant, 1 sergeant, 1 training community relations officer, lieutenant, assistant chief, patrol commander. Civil employees, 1 CID assistant, 2 clerks, 11 reserve police officers, up from 2 in 2011, 11 chaplains. This is new to the department. The reserve police officers and chaplains are part-time and do not receive pay. Last year I reported that we had a grant open to rehab a city property to move the police department. It was turned down. On the bright side, the citizens of Magnolia passed a small tax to build a police fire substation. We're anticipating that this may happen in the near future and the problem will be solved. The Magnolia Police Department received $6,972 in grants for equipment and training. I also reported some crime numbers to you last year, and I'm glad to report they're down once again this year. In 2012, the police department was able to collect $42,392.99 in bad debt through their collection agency. The city inspector's office had a total of $10.6 million in building permits for 2012, which was a 17.7% increase from 2011. The office also completed 469 inspections. In the past 2 years, the inspector's office has received approximately $47,000 in property owner contribution to clean up nuisance abatement properties. We also removed 23 inoperable vehicles from the city in 2012. In 2013, we'll continue our efforts to clean up nuisance abatement properties as well as make a stronger push on inoperable vehicles and find a comfortable solution to mobile homes. Last year I reported on the conditions of the city parks, and this year I am very proud to report that we have started a major overhaul of East Side Park, South Side Park, Stadium Street parks. This would not be possible without this city council, without the A&P Commission, and without Betsy Production. And I want to say thank you, thank you. In the year 2012, brought numerous improvements to the East Side Pool with the help of Leadership Magnolia. The continued help of the Leadership Group and numerous other organizations and individuals has formed a vision for the future of the parks in Magnolia that has been long overdue. The vision includes plans to make the parks a more open, friendly environment free of tree roots, rusty fences, and cable barricades. Beginning in 2012 and continuing into this year, tree root stumps have been removed from East Side Park. Landscaping has begun, grass has been planted, a new play pavilion will be built for shade at East Side, and upgrades to play equipment will be installed by May. $20,000 in playground equipment has been donated for South Side Park and is currently up as of today. A complete makeover of that facility has been planned. The A&P Commission recently approved a $30,000 grant to be used in the Magnolia City Parks. The money will be given in $10,000 increments throughout the year and will go toward the improvement to restrooms, play equipment, and the grounds at Stadium and East Side Parks. We're excited about all the park renovation and what they will do for the city, but I would like to hear from the people that use the parks so we do what the people want done. Phase 1 of the sidewalk project, which will start on Hollingsworth and go south on Frederick, will be complete this year and was funded with grant monies received from the Arkansas Highway Department. The cost of the project is $120,000. I will apply for Phase 2 this year to extend the project from McDonald's to MacArthur. Phase 3 will be applied for in 2014 and will hopefully extend from MacArthur to South Calhoun Street. The Magnolia Street Department is made up of 8 employees and the superintendent is Ricky Wilson. In 2012, the street department ended the year with $299,259.52 in the street operating fund. In 2013, it's predicted that the street revenue will be $869,000. Last year, the department replaced the bridge on Calhoun Road, used 108 tons of asphalt patching the streets and replacing 100 foot of culvert. The department was able to add income by repairing street cuts for the water department, Centerpoint Energy, and local plumbers. They also cut 200 plus acres at the airport, the grass at the Harvey Couch Business Park 2 times from the main entrance to the city. From April 1 to the first killing of frost, 2 employees spend 5 days a week, every week, cutting the grass on all city streets and drainage ditches. At no cost to the city, I personally sprayed insecticide 2 nights a week during mosquito season to control the overpopulation of the annoying insects that invade the South every year in the summer months. The street department also does all routine maintenance and small repair to all city-owned vehicles with the exception of the fire department. The new office building was added to the street yard. We see this as a surplus. The cost to the city for the building was $2,500 and added a value of $32,500. A surplus of any kind is a great find for all cities in Arkansas. There were some purchases made to enhance the quality of life done by the street department. A new boom axe was bought to replace an aging tractor. A new truck was bought to replace an older truck. and 2 military surplus Freightliner trucks were purchased. The department was paying a company to haul dirt, and it became pretty hefty expense. Therefore, we also bought a 1996 Mack dump truck and started saving the department money by hauling our own dirt and cutting down on the number of trips to locations. With the passage of the city sales tax, we'll put $150,000 per year aside to go toward funding of street projects. In the fall, the state tax will start paying the city $200,000 per year. It has a 10-year sunset. In late 2016, Phase 2 of the East-North Street project will be paid off. At that time, we should consider taking $200,000 from the economic development money for streets and give the balance to the Magnolia Economic Development Corporation so it can bring jobs to the city. While I'm happy to report that 131 new jobs were brought to Magnolia in 2012, I do believe there could have been more. The hard truth about economic development is that it takes money to bring jobs, and MEDC does not have it. Right now, MEDC can only help the industries that are already in place to keep the jobs that are already here. We must give them more funds, or this city will not progress. This plan is welcomed. In the next 8 years, we can put $550,000 per year to work for the streets and the citizens of Magnolia. The wastewater department is made up of 7 employees, and the superintendent is Russell Thomas. The City of Magnolia owns and operates the Big Creek wastewater treatment plant, which discharges into Big Creek. In 2012, the treatment plant processed 634 million plus gallons of wastewater, with an average daily flow of 1.7 million gallons a day. Currently, we're working with an industry on using this water that's going down Big Creek. This would relieve pressure to the Sparta water system. This would put 1.7 million gallons of water to work for industry. This not only will help Columbia County, but it'll help the entire state of Arkansas. Major repairs have not been attained since the construction of the wastewater treatment plant. The plan is to have it up and running at 100% by year's end. Currently, we're in the middle of a $2 million project. We've been saving money to pay cash for repairs that will begin later this year on the water treatment plant. Those repairs will continue through the beginning of 2014. The water utilities has 15 full-time employees. The water utilities sold 612 million gallons of water in 2012. The average daily water sale was 1.6 gallons per day. Water loss was 8.7. The water utility currently has 5,425 active good customers. The utility installed 35 new water services. 20 of these were for irrigation systems and set 6 new water meters for existing service. 134 water meters were changed out, 18 inactive water meters were pulled. There were 60 service lines repaired, 20 water main breaks repaired. Also, crews repaired a line break in the 24-inch raw water main from Lake Columbia. 3 fire hydrant work orders were issued, with 2 of those being new fire hydrants installed. A valve maintenance program was started in 2012. Valve operation and measurements are being verified. So far, the crews discovered 9 valves that were in the closed position, which were supposed to be open. A total of 212 valve boxes have been raised so far, which will allow easier location. This work hasn't been performed in over 25 years. The cross-connection program was enforced in 2012. There were 613 accounts that fell under this program. All but 1 account is in compliance. The non-compliance account is currently in the process of installing a backflow preventer on that irrigation account. Cleared and bush hogged approximately 9 miles of raw water line on way to Lake Columbia. Cleared and bush hogged right-of-ways, existing water mains, and the distribution system. Distribution crews replaced approximately 800 feet of water main, 28 water services on Ellen Street with PVC pipe and plastic tubing. This greatly improved residential water pressure and water quality for these customers. Distribution crews installed approximately 130 feet of 2-inch PVC pipe to connect 2 existing dead-end water mains. This greatly improved residential water pressure water quality for these customers. Utilities had bad debts totaling $38,725. Our collection agency collected $6,447.22 of this bad debt at a cost of $1,934. We recovered 17% of the bad debt. The collection agency turned these remaining accounts over to the state of Arkansas Revenue Department to withhold from any of these individuals that may have a state income tax refund due to them. Hopefully the recovery will be good. Completed rehab work on well number 12. This well has been offline for almost 5 years, but ready to go back online now. Almost complete on rehab work on well number 8 should be completed by March of 13. System improvements. Our revenues are building back up. We have purchased well-needed tools and equipment. We are 20% complete of our needs list project. Bill pay for 2012. We processed 19,862 energy bills, 10,272 CenterPoint energy bills. Magnolia Utilities fee for collecting these payments were $11,060.50. In November of 2012, we also started collecting AT&T bills. I would encourage everyone to bring your bills by City Hall. It helps us and costs you nothing. South Arkansas Telephone has a contract on franchise fees, currently at $10,000. As they sell more service, we'll get more revenue generated through the city. All city buildings will receive high-speed internet service, which is a savings of $16,800 to the city per year. It's expected that Verizon will install a cell phone tower by June. That will give the city an extra $9,600 per year. In February, I had the privilege of visiting with our leaders in Washington, D.C. What I noticed when meeting with them, that what you and I consider the next generation is soon going to start taking over our government on a national and local level. It's up to us to teach them and guide them so that we can hand the key to the city over to them. It is my hope that we can do that with pride and in what we accomplished in our time. The city will strive to continue developing working relationships with our schools and churches to reach the next generation. I ask that you join us. In closing, I must thank Mr. Bell and his firm for their hard work, the media for keeping the public informed, this city council for your hard work in 2012, and I do mean that. Department heads and all employees, it's not attainable without you. I must also thank my wife and children, my parents, for enduring me for another year, and to the people of this great city for having faith in me to do this job. Most of all, I must thank God for using me. Without him, I would be nothing. God bless Magnolia.